Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Excuse me. Today I have another beer from Dancing Gnome Brewing Company out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This beer is called Haha. Pretty short name. So what this is this is an imperial version of the single IPA that's just called Ha, which makes sense if you've heard of that one. So this is a double IPA. It is 8.0 ABV. And I did look it up. The hops in this are Amarillo, Simcoe, and Columbus. So I'm fully expecting this to be a complete dank bomb and not be like very juicy at all, but we'll see. So as you can see, it pours a darker golden color. It actually seems like slightly less hazy than some of their other stuff, which is interesting because, sorry, there's a flea flying around. Because this is more of maybe not the malt, the way it's brewed or the malt base, but just those hops are more old school hops, so it's interesting that it's slightly less hazy than their other ones too. It had about a half a finger's worth of white head, but it's gone away pretty quickly. I did dig deeper to get that dank character. So actually, the first sniff I took, which I didn't waft quite as much, was actually pretty orangey. And in the description, it says, in Dancing Gnome's description, it says it's going to be really orangey. I don't know if that's from the Amarillo, because I don't generally get that from Amarillo, and I definitely don't normally get that from Simcoe or Columbus, so it's interesting. But the more I smell it, it's definitely like resinous, so I'm pretty excited to taste it though. So, this was canned on, I don't know if it was canned on, but it was sold on, so probably within a couple days. It was sold on June 21st, and today is August 17th. So, about 8 weeks, almost 2 months. And I like to wait a month for their stuff to settle out, but I try not to go much longer past 2 months because then they'll start falling off a little bit. To me, this is like perfect where it is. So I'm really curious. I feel like this actually still, even at 2 months, like has more bitterness than a lot of their beers do when they're at a month. I'm guessing because of the hops that are in it. But to me, it's more of like a classic bitterness, like a West Coast bitterness. It's not like hop particle bitterness that sits at the back of your tongue. But honestly, it tastes super fresh. I would never guess, like had I not known what these guys are about, how their beers age with, a small amount of time, I would absolutely assume like this just came out this week. Because it smells super fresh. It doesn't taste old at all. It is a little sweet, but that's kind of goes with what how most of their double IPAs are. I will say I'm definitely getting the booze out of this a lot. Probably more so than some of their other ones. Sometimes it's hard to decipher between booze and bitterness too, if both are not super strong, but they're detectable. But it definitely has, to me, And this is Amarillo. This is not a Dancing Gnome problem. It's just the way I feel about the hops. But Amarillo almost has like a little bit of like a medicinal, like aspirin-y taste. I don't know why, but I picked that up. I'm getting that a little bit out of this, but I think the Simcoe and the Columbus really round it out. Because Amarillo is definitely another one of those old school hops that was used in a lot of things. I just don't like it when it's by itself. So I kind of wish there was less Amarillo and more Simcoe and Columbus in this. My dog keeps looking up at me because Simcoe's his name, but it's still a pretty good combination. It's definitely the hop profile, at least, is old school. The body, and the sweetness and everything else certainly is not. Yeah, I mean, I do still get a little bit of an orangey character in the taste too, but not as much. It's definitely more resinous and dank, and I would say like earthy too. But given the hops that are in this, I'm not surprised by that. I wish the bitterness was dialed down just a little bit, but I don't know that really. At this point, being 2 months old, I feel like if you waited any longer, then the flavors would start to fall off. So I don't really know if that would be worth trying to do. But on my scale of buy, drink, dump, I don't know how much this costs. I didn't buy it. I got it through a friend. But assuming it's no more expensive than their other double IPAs, which I'm pretty sure it wasn't, I would call this a buy. It's a really nice representation of old school hops in a new school style IPA. If that's what you're looking for, this is definitely a beer that will suit that need. I wouldn't say it's my favorite beer from them ever, even though I do like. Generally, to me, like I kind of like the old school hop character more, but I like it more when it's with the old school malt base too. To me, sometimes it's a little odd to have this flavors in like this like sweeter pillowy beer, but I do still like it a lot. And if I want to get away from the juice, sometimes I can go to something like this. So I would definitely buy this again. Or I should say I would definitely buy it a first time, having had this time. So yeah, that's all I got on this guy. And please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.